Have you ever wondered if you're going to go bald? Well, chances are that you will. If you've already noticed any thinning, then half of those follicles are already dead. So in this video, I'm gonna break down why hair loss actually happens, debunk common myths that are holding you back and are actually making things worse, and I'll be walking you through the exact steps you can take not only prevent balding, but to get your hairline back and never have to worry about it again. It's actually a lot easier than you think. First, it's important to know how and why people go bald, because if we don't understand this, we'll never be able to fix it. Hair loss is caused by a hormone called DHT, and what DHT does is that it binds onto your hair follicles during its hair cycles. So everyone's hair has a life cycle. However, what DHT does whenever DHT gets involved and binds to your hair follicles, it goes through a miniaturization process. So every time your hair goes through its normal hair cycle of growing, shedding, and repeating, the follicles itself that they grow out of get smaller and smaller and smaller as you age and as you get more DHT, until you have so little that it's hard to tell that you have any hair, and then boom, you're bald. The deciding factor on if DHT is able to bind to your follicles this efficiently for you to go bald is from your genetics, from your X chromosome, from your mom's side of the family. But one thing people don't understand is why hair loss can start so young for so many people. You often imagine old people in their 40s, 50s going bald. However, a lot of the times you see a lot of young guys as young as 20 going bald. And a lot of people blame the wrong things, but the reason for this is because when males go through puberty, they get an influx of testosterone. This is the hormone that makes us a man. This is the hormone that if you inject it synthetically, you get a lot bigger muscles. However, one side effect of this is that some of that testosterone gets turned into DHT. And up to 80 to 85% of all men in life will experience some sort of male pattern baldness, which is what happens when you start to go bald. It happens in a pattern, and you can track how bad it is from the Norwick scale. And from 20 to 25% of men can experience this as early as 20 years old. Now, DHT will always be the thing that makes you go bald. However, just like any other disease or any condition in life, other aspects such as inflammation and chronic stress can lead to symptoms happening a little bit earlier or just getting a lot worse quicker. However, just like a lot of other things in life, although DHT is the thing that causes hair loss, things like inflammation and chronic stress can lead to the results of it being sped up. Because if we're not careful, these myths will mislead you from being able to stop hair loss. Now, one of the biggest myths that I see is that 360 waves or brushing your hair too much causes balding. As we just went over, balding, male pattern baldness, is quite literally a hormonal and genetic disease. And no matter how many brush strokes you put on your head daily, you'll never actually be able to increase your DHT level. However, a common response to this is that brushing in 360 waves causes traction alopecia, which is just one of the worst takes I've ever heard, because if you take at least a little bit of time to do any amount of research, you'll see that traction alopecia requires constant tension on your hair, and when you brush your hair, you only get microseconds, micro time of traction. So first of all, it's not enough. There's no constant traction on your hair. However, this doesn't explain why there's so many wavers you see that are going bald at young ages. It has to be because if they have waves or something with it, right? Well, no, and I'm gonna prove it to you like this. You've never seen a female waver going bald or a child waver going bald. Waves don't have an age limit. You can be brushing your hair dedicated to that from 5 years old, from 15 years old, and you would see zero symptoms of going bald. Why? You're incapable of producing enough DHT to cause male pattern baldness. And also females. Yes, females have different ways of going bald. They suffer from their different aspects of alopecia. Sometimes it's the extreme version where you don't get any hair at all, it just randomly goes away, like Jada Pinkett. Let me stop talking for If you know, you know. If you know, you know. You'll never see a female waver going bald to traditional male pattern baldness. And there's also, you probably will never really see a bald female waver at all, because when females are going through hair loss, it's usually a lot more extreme or a lot more rare than males. So now that you know exactly how hair loss works and the myths to stay away from, it's time that I address how to prevent and fix hair loss. At first glance, it seems kind of wishy-washy to fix hair loss. You see things about oils online and all that stuff, or you go see your grandma and she's telling you to put, I don't know, onion juice on your hairline and all that things. But what actually moves the needle and makes progress? Now, we actually already made something that, a couple things that are actually very effective solving hair loss. The only issue is they don't exactly cure it. However, we are getting pretty close on that, but later in this video, I'll touch on why you should not wait or rely on any magical cures or anything like that. However, minoxidil, finasteride, and dutasteride. We've made 3 incredible drugs a while ago actually that do a fantastic job reversing and stopping hair loss. So minoxidil is probably the one you've heard of already. What minoxidil does is increases the length of your hair follicle life cycle. As we went over, typically the DHT binds to your hair follicles, makes it smaller and smaller. As you go on the life cycle, gets smaller and smaller until there's nothing left. What minoxidil does, it makes that life cycle even longer, and it also increases the hair growth by increasing the blood supply, and it dramatically makes a big impact on the hair growth and the life cycle of those follicles, making minoxidil a fantastic option. Topical means is being applied to your temples, actually to your hair itself. It doesn't require you to go to a doctor office or anything. And if you're going bald, I highly suggest is the first thing you do. Like instantly, like right now, go get some. The other thing we have is finasteride and dutasteride. So what those things do, they don't actually regrow your hair, but what they do, they attack the core issue, DHT. What they do is they try their best to go ahead and stop DHT from happening. So you go ahead and you eliminate the problem from the source. So which one should you use? Well, it's not really an either or. Well, maybe for finasteride and dutasteride, because they do the same thing. But minoxidil and finasteride, for example, those things, they work together, they bind together, they work hand in hand. If you really want to stop hair loss using finasteride or dutasteride and minoxidil, use that daily. It's gonna be really, really hard for you to keep going bald. One big mistake that I fell into, and I see a lot, is being fooled by a lot of illusions and honestly cope that makes you think that you're not going bald, because as we'll go over in the next point, prevention is so key. But however, one time I went to go get a haircut. I was 18, I just went to college, and my barber lined me up, and like the last 100 haircuts I got in my life, I was completely fine. However, I saw that there was like space between where he did the white marker, because I never usually get the white marker. I put up a picture, there's space between there and my hairline. I was like, no way, I'm going bald. That's the first time I ever noticed it. And I was like, you know, just cover it with a black spray. And I didn't do anything about me going bald for a year. And honestly, it just went away. I didn't notice it anymore. I just kept covering with the spray and wolfing long enough for my hair to reach down. Do not do that. Haircuts, that Beijing spray, the black spray, all of that stuff, it's an illusion, and it's gonna hold you back if you just go ahead, make sure you get extra enhancements, and just completely don't think about going bald. Because even though it seems like it's taken a long time, and it's like, nobody will notice, or it doesn't even look that bad. If you've seen yourself going bald a little bit, that means 50%. If you can notice it, 50% of all those follicles are already dead, as I said in the intro. So prevention is not cosmetic coping. So how do you go ahead and prevent hair loss? As we know, prevention is the biggest tool that we have to fight against hair loss. Well, first of all, you have to commit to it. You have to lower your ego and be like, okay, we're balding, accept it, now what? First, understand that this is going to take consistent, long-term consistency, and it's not going to change overnight. However, as long as you're doing your part and noticing it and taking action on it, you will win in the long run. So like I said, the first and easiest thing, and the thing you should probably do, is hop on minoxidil. I don't know about the brand. It doesn't really matter the brand. You can just go to Costco or just order it online. This is probably the most important thing you can hop on, because it's the easiest thing. Like I said, it technically won't stop you from going bald. However, the rate of hair growth, if you're early on enough like I am, the rate of hair growth you get from using minoxidil typically exceeds the rate of miniaturization and DHT making you go bald. And there are a lot of hormonal stuff and things like that about finasteride, which I'll get into in a second. But honestly, a lot of things with the side effects with finasteride from the research that I've done, I encourage you to go ahead and do your own research, challenge the things that I'm saying, challenge the things you believe for yourself. But it's made out to have a lot of side effects, but in reality, I think that most people kind of nocebo themselves, which just means like this placebo effect. You think you're doing something, you're doing nothing, like you're taking like a fake pill and you're believing that it's real, and then you get symptoms even though it's a chalk pill. But you can nocebo yourself, which is like the opposite, into getting negative side effects from finasteride, which I've seen a whole lot on the internet, honestly, and from research. However, I do believe you have to get finasteride prescribed to you by your doctor or whoever, dermatologist. So I would go ahead, do your research on that. I wouldn't go on it until I'm absolutely certain about my age. I want to go on it below the age of like 21 probably. If you're like 21 years old, or if you're 20 years old and you have a whole thick beard, you have chest hair, you're 6'2", I'm pretty sure puberty is over for you, man. It looks like you need to hurry up and get a mortgage and deal with your family. But if you're like me, I'm still a little babyish. I'm gonna wait a little bit before hopping on finasteride, but I will not stall and just wait forever. Be like, oh, the negative side effects that never exist, and the only side effect I get is losing my hairline forever. And I do want to give some extra hope. There's been a lot of developments over like late 2025 about like apparently the cure is literally like out. But I want to encourage you, whenever you see these headlines, bro, do not wait on a cure. Will hair loss and male pattern baldness be solved in our lifetimes? Probably within the next 5 to 10 years. However, what you really want to do is be able to hold out until then. And to hold out, you'll probably be perfectly fine. If you use minoxidil, finasteride, you hold out, your hairline's back, everything's good, and then they come up with a cure. Perfect, right? That's the best case scenario. However, if you're like, oh man, the cure is coming out soon, it doesn't really matter, and then by the time it comes out, your hairline's up here worse than LeBron James hairline, it's just too late for you. It's gonna be way harder. Now you gotta go to Turkey. Now you gotta do all this stuff, which we don't really want to do. This whole thing is to avoid going to Turkey, man. But hair loss doesn't have to be complicated. I'll be making a full hair loss routine so you can just see. I was struggling to make this video because honestly I was like, this is gonna be so short. I don't even know like if this is good enough to be like its own long form video, if I should just include that in part of this video. However, I'm still gonna make it his own video, but that's just to show you just a few minutes a day can change your confidence for years to come. So now that you know exactly how to stop hair loss, it's important to also note that that's only half the equation, and that what you do with the hair that you keep matters just as much, if not more. So watch my full moisturizing routine next to learn everything there is about taking care of your hair health. Thanks for watching. God bless.